keep it healthy and beautiful. I will love the land, the air, the water, and all living creatures. I will be a defender of my planet, united with friends. I will save the earth. United with friends, I promise to keep it. United with friends, I will love the land.
My name is Commissioner Frank Avila, and I'm a commissioner at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. And this show is Future City. And the district, we participate in Future City every year. And they always say, what is Future Cities? Well, Future City competition is a national project-based learning experience for students in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Images, design, and build cities of the future. Students work as a team with an educator and engineer mentors to plan cities using SimCity 4 Deluxe software, research and write solution to an engineering problems, build tabletop scale models with recycled material, and present their ideas before judges at regional competition in January. Regional winners represent their region at the national finals in Washington, D.C. in February. Future Cities engage kids in engineering. This flexible cross-curriculum education program gives students an opportunity to do the things that engineers do: identify problems, brainstorm ideas, design solutions, test, retest, and build and share their results. This process is called the engineering design process. With this at its center, Future City is an engaging way to build student 21st century skills, students participating in Future Cities. And I have with me today St. Paul of the Cross. They won first place in the regional city here in the Chicagoland area. And the students are here with me. I have with me Michael. I have Margaret. I have Samantha, Ben, Jack, Catherine, and Michael. And I also have the two teachers and their mentor, but they're watching the show right now as we tape. And Michael, what is the name of your future city?
The name of our future city is Futura Pardisus.
Okay, again?
The name of our city is Futura Pardisus, which is Latin for future paradise.
And that's why I had Michael pronounce the future city, because I don't know Latin that well, but Michael knows it upside and downside on Latin. And so, Future City, what made you decide to get in Future City? You just want to, did your teacher force you, or your parents force you to get into Future City? You'd like to answer that? Anyone? Jack?
I'll take
it. Go on.
I joined Future Cities because I saw it as a good opportunity to learn skills and learn about engineering, science, and to solve problems.
And to solve problems, that's good. That's good. And so you, how long did it take you to do everything 100% from start to beginning, and from the beginning to the end?
It took us a few months to finish everything.
And you all worked as a team?
Yes.
Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to go through the process of how they competed in the regional, where they had 3 of the students come and give a talk about their future city, but one couldn't make it. And what's his name?
Zachary.
Okay, Zachary could not make it today, so we're going to only have 2 give the presentation. Or 2 or 1?
2.
2? Okay, well let's start with the and the way it works. That I was one of the judges. We had 4 judges. We were at the table and we listened to about 19 schools giving their presentation, and St. Paul of the Cross came out as the winner. And so and then they were very happy. The parents were very happy too, and the teachers were very happy. So, Michael, you want to start off on giving explaining about your project?
Futura Pardisus. It's in Ireland on a tributary of the Shannon River, and we came from the ruins of a past city called Malice Locus, and they were wiped out from terrible stormwater management and bad engineering, and our engineers saw this as an opportunity to start over and make the wonderful city Futura Pardisus.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And also this future city, the theme of the city was what, stormwater?
Yeah, this year it was stormwater.
Yeah, this year was stormwater, and I'm glad that they solved the problem of stormwater, because here in the Cook County area, this last month in April 18th and the 19th, we had over a little under 6 inches of rain coming down here in Cook County. 1 inch of rain is 15 billion gallons, so we had over 75 billion gallons of rain in a short period of time coming down in Cook County, and flooded out a lot of people. And if they were to learn from the students of St. Paul of the Cross how to plan a city here in Cook County, they would not have this flooding here in Cook County, because their city would have solved the problem. Right, Michael?
That's right. Margaret, do you want to tell us about the stormwater? You know it best.
Trying my microphone.
Okay, and Margaret is going to talk about stormwater here, about the city, and Margaret is the expert here on stormwater with the rest of the kids here. Okay.
Our city uses a variety of ways to manage stormwater, including bioswales and our groundbreaking system of stormwater management that is original and unique to our city, called Secure, Filter, Detain, and Release, SFDR, or SIFTER. And our stormwater system has 4 major layers: pervious pavement, geotextile filter fabric, stormwater detention units, and then finally pipes that lead to a water treatment facility. And what happens in our city is all of the pavement in our city is permeable, and so the water filters through the pavement and onto geotextile filter fabrics on a roll filter that can take out any dirt and debris. Then it travels to a series of 3 detention units stacked on top of each other. The first unit holds 15 gallons, and each unit below holds 5 gallons more than the unit above. And what happens is sensors detect when the set amount of water is reached, and the bottom of the detention unit slides from underneath, and the water travels to the next unit until it finally gets to the bottom. And when that tank is full, it goes through pipes to a water treatment facility on our city, where it is then properly treated and delivered to the rest of the city to provide water.
Okay, thank you very much, Margaret. And I hope that the mayor of the city of Chicago and all the mayors in the communities here in Cook County, and especially our district, Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, we have top engineers, and I hope they're going to watch this show to see how to solve the flooding problem here in Cook County, because Michael and Margaret just explained how to solve the flooding here in Cook County. And here we're spending millions and millions of dollars to solve our flooding problem, and a lot of damages in the homes, and not only here in Cook County, but all the way along the Illinois River and the Mississippi. Everyone's getting flooded, but this future city will solve the problem of flooding. So I hope they're all going to watch this show and solving the problem. Now, to get involved in Future City, you had to do what? You had to write an essay, correct?
Yes.
You had to do what? A narrative?
Yes.
Right? And all you were involved in doing the essay and the narrative?
Yes.
And so each one of you contribute, and also you had to do research, right? Research?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what shall we start first, with the essay or the narrative? Michael, what do you want to start first with?
Well, I guess
The
we could start with the narrative.
Okay, good. Let's get in the mic then.
The narrative was the narrative was it basically explains why people should visit our city and showcases all of the best features of Futura Pardisus. It includes our aquasphere, the industrial sites in our city, how we handle safety, and of course stormwater management.
And so it covers everything what a city should be doing. Yeah. Excellent. And then who wants to talk again?
Well, I'll talk about the entertainment we have in our city. Because the people in our city, they're never bored. We have our zip line, which is the longest zip line in the world across our city. We also have sporting events such as a hurling stadium, and also we have a theater for people to visit, and also we have Crab Walk Mall, which is where everyone can shop, and it is powered by solar panels.
Well, that's excellent. So you cover everything that a person wants to do and live here in the city.
Yes.
That's excellent. And now, did you all participate in this narrative?
Well, at first we split into groups, and then overall we all came together and worked on everything to get it done.
And no disagreement, no arguments, right? Only discussion.
Not too many arguments.
Not too many.
Too many.
Well, you know, I've been married 46 years. I haven't had one argument, only discussions. And this is what the team is all about. You have to have discussion. You have to have different ideas, because not one has the same idea, but you have to work together to come up with the ideas, right? And agree on something. If not, you're never going to do a thing. So that's good. So now, what else did you have to do besides the narrative?
We had to write an essay.
Essay? And who wants to explain the essay?
The essay was written by two of us on the team, and what the essay does is it describes our stormwater system, and it identifies the problem in today's society, and we talk about ways to fix the problem and the different engineers and people involved in this process, and we go into depth about about our system and what it does, and it takes a while to write, but we really go into depth about just basically our stormwater system.
Anyone else would like to comment on that? Okay, we'll have Michael.
Well, our essay was basically just our stormwater system and what we did to come up with that. But our narrative had more to it, actually.
Okay.
And should I talk about that?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, if you want, you could pass the mic on whoever wants to talk about it.
Yeah, sure. Well, Futura Pardisus, we use renewable energy, but that's not always consistent in the world. So we have three main energy sources. We have solar, wind, and hydro power with our river. And just in case, we use every source we can get. We use other sources than our top three. Like in our parks, we have our sidewalks that generate electricity from the energy from the stepping on the ground to power the lights on our river. Anybody else?
Okay, we have Jack. Jack is going to talk more on it.
Also with the narrative, we offer a lot of parks and recreational activities, like band concerts in the park. There's also a university and boating museum that talks about the history of the water area on the River Suck. And we also offer some interesting things about waste disposal. So
we all eat and drink, and so we have to dispose of our human waste. I mean, that's a very important part of life there.
It's taken underground from the house, like garbage too, from the trash, in through tubes, and then it's brought to a different area. That's also how groceries are transported underground.
Excellent. That's
Another way we focus on Futura Pardisus is safety, and in Futura Pardisus, safety isn't really a major concern because of our innovative ways to protect our people. One of the ideas we came up with was nanotechnology inside the infrastructure of the buildings. The nanotechnology senses heat and hotspots, which then warns firemen before the fire starts. And then another way is we have retina scans and facial recognition, so you can detect anybody who enters a building and immediately notify someone if it's like if they're like a threat.
Excellent. Anyone else?
Also on the city, the sidewalks in the parks going along the river harness kinetic energy from walkers, and that powers all the lights in the park district area that surrounds the river.
That's excellent. That's a new idea. I think that's what we should do here in Chicago to lower our energy costs. And we have Catherine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One other thing that the narrative focuses on is the health of the people. We have a lot of things that we talk about in our narrative, like the medicine mirrors and smart fridges, but since they're inside the buildings, they aren't shown in the model. But basically, the smart fridges can detect what food is inside them, and it can kind of make a grocery list and tell you what foods you need to eat to have a healthy diet.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then the food can be transported right to your fridge through the underground tubes that he talked about before. And then the medicine mirrors are basically just mirrors that they can scan the front of your face, and they can detect any health threats that you have. And, yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. That's prevention, and that's excellent because here at the district they're always saying, how can we keep pharmaceutical drugs out of the water? And my answer to them all the time is stay healthy, don't take it. Get up in the morning, run 15 miles, eat good food, stress, get enough sleep. So I like your idea on the, was it a mirror?
Yeah, it's a mirror that, I don't know. I don't really know how we said that it worked.
But it's good. I mean, that's and next one.
Well, our narrative also...
And Samantha, right?
Yes.
Okay, Samantha. Okay.
Our narrative also talks about one of the main attractions to our city, which is the Aquarisphere. And it's a giant spinning aquarium that you can see at any point in the city because it's located on one of our top tiers. And you can also drive through it and see it from the bottom. And it is what our city is known for.
Excellent. Any more? Michael?
Well, expanding on the underground system of tubes, we also have our tubular transport technology, which is which utilizes our trekker cars, which are self-driven and GPS-directed cars that drive you around the city, and they can go into the tubes as well as transporting the trekker cars can also transport the food.
And the TTT tubes, which is what we call them, they're also virtually frictionless, so you can go extremely fast to where you need to go without any troubles.
That's excellent. Michael?
And so this is the future, and human populations are booming and all. So we needed to find a way to not use as much land for things. So we came up with our vertical spinning farms.
Oh.
And they spin to follow the sunlight as the day goes on. And the bottom of each platform reflects light so that each plank gets maximum sunlight, and water is carried up through the inner tube in the center of each of the platforms.
And that's what was part of the points that you had to do when you did your model, right? You had to have a movable part
moving
to your
part.
And the farm is excellent. I like the idea of different levels of your farm there. Now, is that all organic?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, no pesticides or herbicides. That's excellent. Anyone else have a comment?
And again, in the narrative, we talk about the stormwater system and how it benefits our city and the society in general.
I think that's the key to have a good city. You got to benefit society and the public. That's excellent.
Also, we have a great university in our city with plenty of land for the students to walk around in. And there's also an engineering building near close to the university if the students want hands-on experience. And also that we have a motel kind of right next to the university in case parents of the students staying there want to stay and they want to be close to their children. The hotel's called The Robot.
Now, where in your city, where is St. Paul of the Cross?
St. Paul of the Cross is there's some little purple buildings there in the back, kind of by the residential area, so that's the grade school.
Oh, that's excellent. That's I'm glad they added St. Paul of the Cross, because if the kids are really learning a good education at St. Paul of the Cross, every city should have a school like St. Paul of the Cross to educate the kids, along with the teachers that they have and the mentors also, and also the parents, because the students at St. Paul of the Cross are probably teaching the parents how to have a good city, be healthy, eat good food, right, guys? You probably go home and teach your parents. Now, in Future City, what is Future City? They also develop writing, which they just did, public speaking, which the students of St. Paul of the Cross just did, problem solving, and time management skills, because they had to get this done in a period of time to get it ready for the date of the competition. And that's always, I think it's always the last week in January of the month. So they have to figure out how to get it done in that period of time. Research, they had to do research. They had a proposed solution to engineering challenge, and that's where they all worked together. They all had different ideas, but they came together with the idea of how to do their future city. Also discovered different types of engineering and explore career options, learn how their community works, and become better citizens and develop strong teamwork skills. And this is what they did here in their future city. And can I do future city without competing? And this is what maybe some of the schools might be asking. Here, St. Paul of the Cross, along with other schools, they came and compete. But yes, you could do any school out there could do the full program, or choose that part that matched their learning goals and never compete. Over the years, educators and engineers have used a virtual city design to teach city planning, the essay to strengthen research and writing skills, and the model to understand scale, because your scale, what was your scale?
Our scale was 1 in 50.
1 in 50. So they had to design this city, and this was the points that you had to get in your competition. You won by point system, and the scale was part of the point system. And potential and kinetic energy, which you mentioned on the energy portion.
Yeah.
And also and city planning, and this is how they planned their city, and they won first place. Now, you also received some other awards, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What other award? Now, let's show Michael. Let's show me your first place plaque. There. Okay. Okay. This is the first place plaque that they received in January. It was the last week in January, and they were competing, and they came up on top. Every school there was excellent. I'll lean it over, and so this was the plaque. The first, it says here. Let me read it. It says, this award is to recognize your outstanding effort with the National Engineering Week 2013 Future City Competition. Congratulations on a job well done. 2013 National Engineering Week Future City Competition, Chicago region, first place. That's excellent. What other awards did you get?
Another award, we were awarded the best model, and then we were also awarded best presentation, but our other presenter is not here, so we can't present.
We won an award that is called Best Use of Green Technology. And this has to do with water management.
Water management?
And we came second place in the plan implementation of our city, which I think is just like how it's laid out and the whole planning of the city.
And the theme of the city was stormwater management. And water is very precious. You know that a human being, we have 67% of water in our body. Do you know that a chicken has 67% and an elephant has 67%? So water is very precious. You know that you could live without food for about, 30 days? But how many days can you live without water? About 3 days. I don't try it, but 3 days, because you need water to live. Now, besides, so you got points on your model. Now, who made the model? How many people were involved?
Well, actually, all of us worked together on the model. Everyone made at least like 2 buildings, and
2 buildings?
Yeah, we all worked together and put it all together in the end when it was finished.
And the criteria was using recycled material?
Yeah, you couldn't spend more than $100 to make it. Yeah.
And who kept track on the dollars? I mean, you have to have someone keeping track on the dollars, right?
I think we pretty much use everything recyclable that I know of, except for maybe some paints or something. So,
excellent. And so you each of you did 2 buildings. So, Rid, what building did you do, Michael?
Well, I built the windmill, which was our moving part, and I also helped lay the roads down in our city.
Oh, excellent. And then you, Margaret?
I built the Cahill complex, which is cardboard, and it's cardboard stacked up and then spray painted gold. And then I helped with the communications tower as well.
Okay, and you, Samantha?
Well, I helped with the Crab Walk Mall, and also I helped create the parks and the zip line.
Now, was it hard to do these parts?
Not very hard, because we had a lot of little materials that we could use, so we would just look around for smaller materials and come up with what it would be.
And then Ben, what part did you play here?
I designed the Aerospace Research Center, and I helped contribute with the university, and I also painted the background.
Now, this sign here, this painting here in the front, who did that?
I painted the background on the model, and I freehand drew that poster for nationals, so we could represent Chicago.
You drew that poster, huh?
Yes.
Explain the poster. What does the poster represent?
The poster is the Chicago skyline, and I use various different colors to show the sunset, and then the Chicago, the letters are in the Chicago Tribune letters.
Oh. And how long did that take you to do?
Like 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah.
So are you planning to be an artist? Huh?
I'm really interested in engineering after this. So.
Oh yeah, excellent. And then Jack, what models did you do?
I did the Jack Towers, the hospital, the museum, and I helped with the communications building.
Oh, excellent. And Catherine, what?
I made the little gold building in like the front left corner. I'm not sure what it's called. And
right over here.
Yeah, with the little orange things on it.
Yeah, that's excellent.
And I helped with the parks. I made the ice skating rink and the band shell.
Oh.
And I painted a few of like the buildings.
And Michael?
I made our police and fire stations. They're made out of some hard drives of some sort. And then I made our vertical farm out of recycled CDs.
And then there's a little battery turning it around?
That's solar powered, actually.
Solar power. That's excellent. Now, how did you all get together to put it together?
Well, we each separately made our buildings, and then towards the end, we just kind of lay it out. And in the beginning, we already had a master plan of which section we would want to be commercial or industrial. And then we kind of just started placing buildings and see what looked good.
Excellent. Now, you had the plaque of first place, right? But what is that cup sitting by Michael? Michael, what is that cup?
This is just the same kind of thing. This is our regional winners cup. This is for winning future cities, you know.
Excellent. Now,
Illinois, yeah. Same.
now, because you won the regional first place, right? You went where after that to compete?
We went to Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. And how many other regional teams were up there?
34. 33 others, yeah.
And so you stayed, what, about a week up there? Or?
4 or 5 days.
Well, 4 or 5 days? Yeah. And then did you give the same conversation that you gave here in Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, in the Chicago regionals, we gave our presentation, which won best presentation,
Yeah.
where 3 of us would go up and then we presented our city. We had a little skit to go along with it to make it more interesting, and we basically told all the major parts of our city. And then there were also special awards where all 8 of us stood around our model at the Chicago regionals, and the judges questioned us, and the judges were coming from different fields and sponsors of the competition, and they would question us and see if we were eligible for their awards.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Oh, you guys enjoy Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
A lot, yeah.
What you do in Washington, D.C. besides the competition?
Well, the competition was often in the morning, so they gave us maximum amount of time for sightseeing.
Oh,
So we went to the mall, and I went to Arlington National Cemetery and a lot of other places.
excellent. And then you all went to the same place, or you had
Oh, well, there was a tour that we went on, and then after the tour was over, we were free to go wherever, so a lot of museums and monuments and such.
Well, that's excellent. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. What did you get out of doing Future City? And should we start? We'll start with Michael at this end.
Well, it might sound kind of cheesy, but I learned a lot of time management.
Time management?
Yeah, it took a long time to make, and we really planned it out well, I think.
Yeah. Because you started when? In September? When did you start the project?
I think, yeah, we started in September, around there, in the beginning of the year.
And then you had to get
Friday.
it done, what, about the second week in January?
Correct.
So you got September, October, November. Well, it's about 4 months of doing your research. Did you go on any trips to learn to do more research?
Well, we had another engineer who worked with stormwater management, and
what's
he
his
came
name?
and talked.
What?
Mr. O'Regan.
O'Regan? Okay.
Yeah, he came and talked to us.
And then what's the name of your 2 teachers that helped you with that? With your 2 teachers.
Mrs. Stipka, our science teacher,
Science
and
teacher?
Mrs. Moran, our computer teacher.
Computer teacher.
They helped out.
Do you think the 2 teachers helped you a lot?
I think they did.
Yes. So one is a science teacher and one is a computer teacher.
Correct.
And then who was your mentor?
Mr. Spagnolo.
And then he has a degree in mechanical engineering.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. And so that was your 2 teachers and the mentor helped you through the project. That's
Yeah, they really, they showed us what we had to do.
Yeah.
And helped us start to think, to make a plan, and kind of think like an engineer, really.
And then Catherine, what did you learn out of Future City?
Well, definitely about teamwork, because we didn't always agree on everything. But besides that, definitely time management too, and kind of our work ethic, where we had to work harder for some things because it was a little difficult.
Yes. And because you had to do your homework also. You had to go to school. If you're on a team or other projects you're doing, then you had to fit this in.
Yeah, I was really busy.
Okay, Jack?
I learned that a project of this size takes a lot of hard work to make it a success, and I learned that a lot of hard work has to come into it, and a lot of people have to work in harmony. So I learned a lot about teamwork, collaboration and compromise.
Okay, Ben?
I learned mostly about devotion and teamwork because, as Jack said, this takes a lot of work, and you have to put in like countless amount of hours after school, at late nights, gluing things on, fixing everything, and you have to be able to work with other people, or else it's just a disaster.
Okay, Samantha?
Well, I learned a lot more of organizational skills because if any part of the building that wasn't glued down went missing, that would be a big problem.
Oh.
So I learned more how to be more organized.
Excellent. Now, did you find the software? What was the name of the software you used?
SimCity 4.
SimCity 4. Did that help?
That was the computer model, so it kind of helped us give us an idea of what our city should look like.
And this is where you're a computer teacher.
Yes.
And what's her name again?
Mrs. Moran.
Ms. Moran. And so she helped you in learning that computer program.
Yes, she helped us set everything up.
Yes, everything is computers now, isn't it? Okay, and Margaret, what did you learn in Future City?
I agree with what was said before. I learned a lot about time management because you definitely could not save this project to the last minute. It's a huge project, and we met every Friday for 2 hours, and not only that, but to finish the essay and the narrative and the virtual city and the model and all aspects of the project, we had to work a lot at home, and we really had to be committed to this to get it done. And you had to learn to work with other people well. And I learned a lot about teamwork and time management, mainly.
And Michael?
Well, just like Margaret, I also learned about teamwork and time management because we broke up into smaller groups to work on the individual things like the research paper and the narrative and the computer model. So we needed to learn how to work with our teammates so we could get it done on time.
That's excellent. You know, what all came out of here was teamwork. And in life we all have to work in a team to get things done, because not one person could do something in life unless we have a team together and we all work together and come up with ideas. Like in marriage, as I mentioned, I've been married 47 years, going on 47. Now, one argument, only discussion, and then we do what my wife says. but the point system. Let me go over the point system that we had. The different point system was the team presentation, which they gave, and you won first place, right, in team presentation.
Yes.
Right, and also we had the physical model. They had to have a physical model and showing and laying it out also. And on the best model, they came in what, Samantha?
We came in first for best model.
First place for best model. What else did you come in? Best use of green technology, because this is what our world is trying to do, is using green technology, and so they came in first place. How was it hard to do research in green technology? Did you find a lot of information on that? Okay.
There was a lot of information on green technology, and it was really interesting to research and find out what people are doing right now and how it could be improved for future use.
Yes, and you, Michael?
Well, it's one thing to have green technology and all, but we also had to be creative and make it realistic. And so that was a bit of a challenge. So we had to research all the possibilities and choose the best of those.
Here in Cook County, we're going to encourage green technology also. When the good Lord gives us all this rain in a short period of time, and as I mentioned, 1 inch is 15 billion gallons, and I think, and they call it 100-year flood, but it looks like every 2 years or 3 times a year we're getting that 100-year flood. So maybe we have to change that terminology, and maybe we have to change our lifestyle. And this city that St. Paul of the Cross just developed for us, maybe this is what we should work towards. Maybe we'll change the whole city of Chicago, Park Ridge, Des Plaines, Wheeling, to your type of city. What do you think, guys? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be. We got a team here. You guys got your 2 teachers. You got your mentor. You form a company and you go out and change the whole Cook County on how to run their city in a more environmental safe way. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. As a judge, they give us certain questions to ask the kids, and so as I was sitting down, they gave their presentation, and then we had 4 or 5 judges, and we asked them questions, and I'm going to ask questions also. And the first question, Catherine, is that CC? Catherine? Yeah. And question number 3.
Okay.
It says there, describe your park and recreational facilities, and what futuristic features do they possess?
Okay. Should I get up and demonstrate? To
Yeah,
them?
sure. Come on up there. Come on up. And these are the questions that they asked each team that gave their presentation in January. Were asked questions and they explained their question. They answered the questions. Go on.
Well, for recreation, there are definitely more than a few different things. There's the zip line. There's the zip line, and there's the hologram show. It's a 3D hologram show. It's just kind of like a 3D movie, except right in front of you. And the year-round ice skating rink, the dome that's heated all year round too, the band shell in the parks. There's the hurling stadium is somewhere, and then there's the crab walk mall because it kind of looks like a crab, and the aquarisphere, which is just a giant aquarium. So, but it's spinning so that the whole city can see it.
Oh, excellent! This is right here. It's spinning,
Yeah.
right. And that's one of your movable parts too.
Yeah, those two.
Yeah, those two. Ah, excellent.
Okay.
And so now Michael C. Who's Michael C? Okay, the question is, how are children and adults? You'd like to come up by the mic there, and Michael is going to answer, how are children and adults educated in your city? By the students, huh? Is it by the students, Michael? We educate the parents. Yes.
Well, in our city, we have cybernetic implants that are optional because they kind of download the core curriculum knowledge into your head, and they teach you basically the memorization aspect of school. And so instead of wasting time memorizing stuff like your multiplication tables, instead most of the time in school is now spent in learning how to apply the knowledge in fields like engineering, which we use to build the city. And we have our schools right here, which is the Stipka schools, named after our science teacher.
Oh, science teacher? Excellent. You forgot one word, Saint. Stipka school, right? Yeah, St. Paul of the Cross. We should put Saint in front of it too. Maybe the Pope will make her a saint. Excellent. Okay, and next question is from Jack K. Right? And he's going to answer. And this is the 6th question on the list here. And he's going to explain, how is waste disposal managed in your city? Okay, Jack?
We have a really interesting form of waste disposal in our city for trash and other things. This is the residential area, and underneath the residential area there are tubes that are demonstrated right here, and those will take the waste away from the city, so there's no dirtiness or anything. It's all underground, so it's just taken right out.
You know, that's excellent. You know, as people go to work up on top, your waste is traveling with them also.
Yeah.
On underground.
Yeah.
That's an excellent system. Okay, and the next one is Ben. Okay, Ben, and the question is, why did you choose the location of your city?
We chose the location of our city based in Ireland on a tributary of the River Shannon, and the city is built around the river. We also chose the city because of the climate. In the winter, it is a mild 35, and if the climate was any lower, it would cause disturbances with our water treatment, because if the water froze, it would mess up the whole process. So we based it in Ireland, and we chose the terrain with the terraces because it is the basic water flow. So while the water flows down, it flows back into the river and is treated and is sent back to the homes so it can be used.
Excellent, excellent, Ben. And I have here Samantha. Samantha, yes. And the question for Samantha is, what mode of transportation are available to the citizens, and can a person reasonably travel throughout the city without the use of a car? Oh, that fell off there? Okay. Okay. Let me see. Okay, we'll straighten it out there. See if I could do it. See? Let me see. I'll tell you what. Let's get this mic here. Okay. Okay, go on, Samantha. Let me read the question again, Samantha. What mode of transportation are available to the citizen?
Well, we have several modes of transportation. One is our trucker cars, which glide along the road because the roads are impregnated with magnets.
Oh, glide. That's excellent.
And also, our trucker cars can travel through the TTT, which is the tubular transport technology, and it's virtually frictionless, so you can go really fast. And then also the goods travel through the TTT alongside with the trucker cars. And another form of transportation is we have our straddle buses, and they're buses that arch over the road so they don't create any traffic issues. So the people ride on top while the trucker cars can ride underneath the bus.
And so a person could travel without a car in your
Yes.
city. That's what we need here in Chicago, coming downtown, because St. Paul's Cross is in Park Ridge, and we're filming downtown Chicago, and that's what, about 12 miles? And we came during rush hour. If we would find another means of transportation, we'd be here in, 20 minutes?
Yes.
Maybe we should apply your transportation on the expressway. Okay, and also now we have Mike. Okay, how do you generate electricity in your city? And this is very important because at the district, at the Water Reclamation District, we spend $60 million a year to give to ComEd for our energy. And in 10 years, we're going to be self-sufficient and not pay ComEd $60 million because we're going to use the human waste to create the energy. And we're starting this year, and it's going to take us about 10 years to accomplish this feat. So energy is very important.
That's right. We've got our solar plant here. And since the river Suck runs through our city, we use hydropower to the greatest extent, and then we use our wind power over in the corner. And we use every means of, every way we can, every source of electricity, like our kinetic energy harnessing sidewalks in the parks. And our solar plant, it condenses the solar energy and uses that heat to create energy to be used.
Okay, that's excellent. And now, what I like to do, team? I like to invite the two teachers and the mentor to come on and have them talk how their experience was in doing Future Cities with the kids. So let's come up, the mentor and the two teachers. And again, what's the name of your two teachers?
Mrs. Stipka, our science teacher.
Okay, Mrs. Stipka, could you please come up and this is your science teacher,
Yes.
right? I would like to have my kids being taught by Ms. Stipka. You could come up here, and also who else got involved?
Mrs. Moran, our computer teacher.
Mrs. Moran, Miss Moran, would you like to come up? Because why is science so important in your city? because you just explained it, right? Energy, right? The transportation, and why is Miss Moran? And she's what? Your computer?
She was important because she helped us figure out how to use the SimCity software.
Yes. Okay. And then your mentor. Who was your mentor?
Mr. Spagnolo.
Sure, yeah. Okay, and we'll have Phil come up, and Phil is a mechanical engineer, right? Yes. And Phil has his own, do you have your own engineering company?
Yes, we do.
And what's the name of your engineering company?
Spagnola Enterprises Limited.
Spagnola Enterprise Limited. You hear that, all your villages in City of Chicago? If you want help have a mentor helping your city, Phil is right here. Now, let's ask your teacher some questions, right? We'll ask them a question. Saying, let's see, what's the name of the school again?
Stipka School.
Saint Stipka School. Say it's a saint right now.
We forgot about the saint, yeah.
What made you get the kids involved in this program?
Originally, it was when my own son was in 8th grade at a different school, and he was involved in Future City.
Oh.
And so I really liked the program. He really liked the program. And so when I didn't want to do it when he was in 8th grade because like conflict of interest or whatever, and I didn't really know a lot about the program yet. So when he became a freshman in high school is when I decided I would like to try it at the school that I teach at, and we've been doing it basically every year since then. This is our 6th year.
6th year.
Yeah.
And you see, she has a lot of time on her hands.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because, this takes time.
It takes a lot of time.
A lot of time, because being a teacher and doing this science project takes probably more time because you got, how many kids you have involved?
We had 8.
8 kids, so, you got 8 kids in working with, and so it takes time. I think if I get married again, and if my wife could have more kids, I'm going to roll where you're at your school.
Oh.
To learn.
Send them over. I do want to say, though, I felt like this year the team worked so well together that I didn't have to, overly push them because they were so self-motivated.
I think.
So it was a really good experience.
Yeah, and this is your second TV show.
Yes.
Yeah, and you could watch the first TV show on the internet and on YouTube. Do you remember your city, the name of your city?
Carteros.
Carteros, yeah.
Carteros,
yeah. Yeah, and you go bring it up online and watch that show. Mm-hmm. And let's talk to your computer teacher. There. Was the software friendly to teach the kids?
The software had its own set of problems. And we managed to work through them and produce a nice product. We had learned when we went to D.C. that we'll be using the newer version of the SimCity software. In fact, during basically the talks there, the creator, what would you call him?
The author
of the software was there speaking with to the children, and they also had one-on-one time with the author. So not only were they able to take a look at the new software, but also ask questions of the person who created it. So it's a little bit different, a little bit more intuitive, I think. So I think we'll have a little bit better time with it.
And now who's in 7th grade? Because the 8th graders are going on the first of high school, right? So who's the 7th graders are going to stay? How many? You got Michael, you got Samantha, and you got Michael.
And we have Zach, too.
Oh, Zach? Okay.
Yes.
You got 4. So you think you're going to be in the Future City next year?
Definitely.
Definitely? And then the software you said is going to improve?
Yes. They just came out. Came out in March.
Oh, it came out?
So, yeah. We're going to take a look at it over the summer and and keep going.
Yeah. Because in any school out there that wants to participate, you could sign up right now. Because June 1st, they're going to have a luncheon. They're going to have a luncheon with Don Whitmore at his company, and they're going to introduce Future City to the Chicago Public Schools, other schools, see if they want to participate. Okay.
Yeah, the software is usually the part that we start first, and it teaches the students about planning the city, and what a real city has to face.
Yes.
The finances, the energy, everything, keeping everybody happy. And I think they have a new appreciation of mayors. Do you not?
Well, mayors have a hard job, no doubt in my mind. And Phil, how long have you been working in Future City?
I've been with the program at St. Paul for 6 years now.
You've probably
I
first
started when they first started. I was brought in with a colleague of mine
Oh.
to co-mentor the students,
Oh.
and we've done it now for this will be our 6th year working on the project.
That's excellent. Now, do you feel that you learned something from working with the kids and your teacher, your science teacher, and your computer teacher?
Definitely learned that no two teams are alike.
No teams.
Every team has its own challenges,
Yeah.
and I'm very fortunate to say that this team was probably one of our finest teams that we've had in the 6 years.
Oh.
It's made up of 7th and 8th graders that you could not tell that one is a 7th and one is an 8th. They're a very cohesive group of students, and I wish them the best in high school and their careers to come.
You know what? I like what I don't know who said that when you gave your presentation here in Chicago, and you gave your presentation in Washington D.C. In Washington D.C., you had a skit. What made you do that skit? The show that being a show person.
Well, not that the city's not interesting, but the skit made it a lot more fun, and it did show the roles of civil engineers.
Yeah.
Because one of the parts in our skit was of a civil engineer and a city manager also.
Okay.
So that showed their jobs too, and we learned about that as well.
That's excellent. And as I mentioned, my name is Commissioner Frank Avila, and I have with me the regional first place school that won first place for Future Cities here in Chicago. And here's Michael, was part of the team, and Michael did an excellent job in being part of the team. And Michael, you're in what, 8th grade? 7th grade, and you're going to be on next year. So next year you're going to have a good team. We have Margaret. Is that right? Margaret, and she's going to go on to high school, right, Margaret?
Yes.
High school. And then we have Samantha, 7th grade, and she's going to be on the team next year. We have Ben. Are you going to first year high school?
Yeah.
And then we have Jack. You're going to be in 7th grade, 8th grade next year?
No, I'm going to be in high school next year.
High school next year. We have Catherine. You're going to high school?
Yeah.
And we have Michael. We got 2 Michaels. And so we got, and Zach is in 7th grade, so we got 4 team members going to go on. You're going to have a good team. Well, guys, thank you for being on our show. As I mentioned, this is Future City. Any school in the Chicagoland area, suburb throughout the area, could be involved in Future City. And you have to have 2 excellent teachers like we have here and a mentor. And so Future City is not for everyone because it takes time. Thank you very much.